Every American has driven on a highway. You merge, you accelerate, you don't think twice. But there is at least one U.S. highway, really a whole system of them, that didn't just connect cities. It divided people. It split neighborhoods in half. It erased wealth. It hardened racial boundaries that still exist today. And it did all of this under the banner of progress. This is the story of the U.S. highway that divided America by race, and how concrete, steel, and policy reshaped the country far more than we were ever taught. In the 1950s, the United States was in love with the automobile. Cars meant freedom, suburbs meant safety, highways meant the future. President Dwight Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, launching the Interstate Highway System, the largest public works project in American history. The promise was simple: faster travel, national defense, economic growth. But where those highways would be built and through whom was anything but simple. Highways don't just appear, they're planned, mapped, approved. And in city after city, planners made the same decision. They didn't run highways through wealthy white neighborhoods. They didn't bulldoze gated suburbs. They cut straight through black communities. Why? Because these neighborhoods had already been labeled blighted. Because redlining had stripped them of political power. Because resistance could be ignored. Concrete became a tool, not of connection, but of separation. Look at the map. Interstate 10 through New Orleans, slicing through Treme, one of the oldest black neighborhoods in America. Interstate 40 through Nashville, destroying Jefferson Street, once a thriving black business district. Interstate 95 through Miami, carving apart Overtown, known as the Harlem of the South. These weren't accidents. Thousands of homes were demolished, businesses disappeared, churches were erased, entire communities lost their economic backbone overnight. And the highway kept moving. In some cities, highways weren't enough, so America built walls. In places like Detroit and Baltimore, physical barriers were constructed to separate white neighborhoods from black ones, sometimes literally next to highways. They weren't called segregation walls. They were called noise barriers, zoning buffers, infrastructure solutions. But everyone knew what they were really for. Highways became racial borders, loud, polluted, impossible to cross safely. Highways didn't just divide space, they divided opportunity. Property values collapsed on one side of the road, businesses fled, tax bases shrank. Meanwhile, suburban commuters sped past the damage, never stopping, never investing. What was marketed as mobility became isolation. And once wealth left, it didn't come back. Today, many of these highways still stand. The neighborhoods they destroyed never fully recovered. But here's the truth most Americans don't realize. You can still see segregation from the driver's seat. Zip codes change at exits. School quality shifts at overpasses. Life expectancy drops across lanes of traffic. The interstate system is one of America's greatest achievements, but greatness doesn't erase harm. These highways were not neutral. They were political. They were racial. They were permanent. And understanding that history matters, not to tear America down, but to finally see it clearly. Because when a road divides people long enough, it stops being a road, it becomes a border. And borders, once built, don't disappear on their own. My name is Clyde Chester, which explores microhistories and unique cultural aspects from across the USA.